This is a test with Genesis 3 to auto-convert some clothing from Genesis 2. So I'm going to go in here and grab something that's included with the starter essentials, which is these pants here, and choose Genesis 2 female. Alright, so the pants came through pretty good. Let's go ahead and bend the thigh. Bends pretty well. Oh, looks like there's some distortion back here. Let's go to wireframe shaded. You can see there's a problem going on here. Now, there are kind of three things you need to look at when you have a problem along the midline like this. The first thing we should do is actually restore the figure back to the base pose, and you can see there's a midline problem going on here. That is not going to fly, and we don't want that in our base because it'll perpetuate all the way through everything else. So I'm going to turn on smoothing and turn off base shape matching and put it generic. I'm going to up this to about 20. You can see that smoothed it out quite a bit. Good enough, I think, for the purposes of what I'm doing right here. And then what we can do is we can export the result out. So it's all smoothed. Export this out as pants, and then we can turn smoothing off again and load that smooth base back in. So I'm going to go to Edit, Geometry, Update Base Geometry. I'm just going to update the vertex positions with the OBJ I just exported, and now it's smoothed out. Okay, now let's see what happens when we bend that thigh again. So we bend that thigh, we still get the distortion problems. So, well, this is where we need to figure out just what's causing it. If you go to, real quick, let's go to currently used on the pants here, and it shows that there is a JCM thigh forward that's applied at 79%. Let's just zero that real quick and see if the problem goes away, because if it is, if the problem is this morph, then we'll have to clean up the morph. But if the problem is a weight map, then there shouldn't be much of a difference by turning this off. So we hit 0. Okay. It's okay. It's not the best. But what you're seeing right here, because I turned the morph off, this is now the weight map result that's going on here. So I'm going to smooth some weights. So we want to be on the left thigh. Oh, but we want to be on the pants left thigh. And we want to actually go down to the thigh bend. That's where the weights are. There's a left thigh control bone, and then there's the left thigh bend and left thigh twist. So let's go here, select the weight. We can see, there we go, there's a problem there. You can go directly to the thigh bend, but I'm going to go up to the pelvis because I know these pants are pretty much symmetrical. And I'm going to turn on symmetry, and then I'm going to smooth. So you'd get the smooth brush. And just come in here, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and just click and smooth that. And now I'm going to smooth this with symmetry on, and it'll push it, kind of push the weights around on the right and left in a symmetrical way, so that you get good results, so that when we bend the other leg, it'll still look good. And we come over here, and we can see there's some problems in there, so we can get in there and smooth that a little bit. Okay, I'm not going to go for a perfect solution on that one yet. I just wanted to really look, and actually I'm going to undo that because I didn't check that earlier when I was turning the morph on and off. So once I'm happy with this result, then we can, I'm just going to turn symmetry off again. We can turn that morph back on. So go up here to the pants, and the morph is a hidden morph right here. So I'm going to alt-click this to reset it. So the morph came back on. You can see that there's still a problem, so the morph needs to be cleaned up. So what I would do at this point then is go ahead and export this out. You're going to want to do this at the full rotation of the thigh because, well, at 115 rotation, because the original JCM was 115. So let's go ahead and just do it at 115 as well. And you're going to go smooth it out. And That's all I'll do, and I'll be right back. Okay, so then I smooth that out, and now we can see that it took me actually smoothing 3 things: the base mesh so that there wasn't a weird edge distortion on the middle, and then I had to smooth the weights, and then I did the morph separate. So in most cases when you're building clothing from scratch for Genesis 3, you would just need to deal with the latter two, the weight maps and the morph, the JCM itself. But that was how you would track down what's causing the problem there.